Please welcome E.J. Kimball, the Director of Christian Engagement for the Combat Anti-Semitism Movement.
Good morning. Good morning. It is an honor to be here with the Combat Anti-Semitism Movement and being able to sponsor this breakfast. Thank you to the NRB, ICEJ. I'm looking forward to hearing from Joel and from Mr. Boone. And Josh, it was great to hear you again. So unfortunately, I'm going to get into some disconcerting news, but I hope to be able to uplift. There is a great evil spreading viciously around the world. It's mutating in form and causing some people to even hide in their homes. And yes, I am talking about anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism did not begin last month when Hamas started firing rockets into Israeli civilian populations. It didn't begin in 1948 with the reestablishment of the Jewish state. It began 3,000 years ago and has continued to fester and mutate. Anti-Semitism began when God gave the Torah to the Jewish people and declared them his chosen people. Anti-Semitism goes against God's will. We at the Combat Anti-Semitism Movement, we don't claim to know how to end anti-Semitism. Jewish establishment organizations have not succeeded in doing this. But something new is needed. And that's what we're doing. We seek to bring all voices to the table that want to make the world a better place. Because anti-Semitism is not just a Jewish problem, it is a scourge that impacts all of humanity. The Combat Anti-Semitism Movement, or as we call it, CAM, operates on three different levels: within the interfaith, within the grassroots, and the diplomatic. We work to create an infrastructure to grow networks to fight anti-Semitism. And in just over 2 years, we have grown to over 340,000 individuals and over 330 organizations that have joined our movement and taken the pledge. At the end of next month, we will be hosting our first Central American Forum for Israel to celebrate the friendship between these Central American countries and Israel. The president of Guatemala, president of Israel, and other key decision makers will be on hand. I hope you'll join us by registering. You can go to our website, combatantisemitism.org. Now, in the last just 2 minutes of my time here, I do want to share one classic example of anti-Semitism. And to do that, I want to look at the story of Purim and one of the worst anti-Semites in history, Haman. Haman, that was good. Now, I'm going to say his name a lot, so let's not boo. Only at the end. Haman came to King Ahasuerus with a plan to kill all the Jews in one day, and he offered him 10,000 silver talents for permission to do this. But King Ahasuerus said, "Go ahead. I don't want your money. You can go kill them." So it raises a question: why would Haman offer the king money? And then why would the king refuse this money? And to understand this and where anti-Semitism really comes from, I have a short parable for you. There were two men who owned fields, and one man had a giant mound of dirt, and the other man had a giant ditch in his field. So the man with the ditch came to the man with the mound in his field and offered to buy the mound of dirt to fill his ditch. The man with the mound of dirt said, "No, I don't need your money. Please, take my mound of dirt. You're doing me the favor to fill your ditch." And everyone's happy. So what is the connection here to the story of Purim and anti-Semitism? Well, Ahasuerus had a mound to get rid of. That mound were the Jews living in the 127 countries in his kingdom. So when Haman offered him money, he didn't want the money. He just wanted to get rid of his mound. Now, Haman had a ditch. Where did that ditch come from? See, when Haman saw a Jew, he saw a ditch in his field, an emptiness, a void. The Jews' very existence makes the anti-Semite feel inadequate. Haman felt this void. And there are two ways to sort of overcome this void. One, which is the way that God would prefer, is that we lift ourselves up and we become better people and we move on and don't blame the other. The way that Haman tried to fill this void is to say, if I have a void in my field, then everyone should have a void in their field, and cause more suffering and more hate. So to fill this void, how can we do this? How can we all here address this emptiness that gives rise to hate and intolerance? And we can do that by looking to God. God created man as an individual, not like other species that were created in pairs. We were created as individuals by design, so that the human race would know that we are created in the image of God. No human being can claim superior ancestral origin over anyone else. And by looking to God and understanding this and living this way, we can cultivate a real feeling of kinship in all of our human relationships. So please, lift your love for Israel and God's chosen people. Join us in this battle for the sake of Zion. Please visit our website, combatantisemitism.org. Take the pledge, sign up for our newsletter, and most importantly, please join us in this effort. Thank you. God bless.